This video was made possible thanks to Motet Distributions, who carry many of the top leading brands in Canada. They are a distributing company, so make sure to check out their website. And also thank you to the Patreons for allowing this trip to happen as well. Make sure to check out our Patreon page, and the link will be in the description below as well. So it's really early in the morning right now, and I'm about to go hear PS Audio speakers that Paul set up. I'll give you my impressions right after, but I'm so excited. These speakers are supposed to be around $28,000 or so, and they're supposed to have these gigantic woofers, so many drivers in one speaker. It looks very futuristic. I had a very small peek and a small listen right before the show started yesterday, so I'm super excited about that. Okay, so we just heard the PS Audio Room with their newest speakers.
We did.
We missed actually Paul,
We
who
did.
came to set up the speakers the day before the actual audio show started.
And we love Paul.
By the way, we're in Montreal,
Yes, we're in Montreal.
and so
Audiofest.
I'm dreading that. But also, the fact that he came here in Montreal, Canada, to set those speakers up and then just dip.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of dedication, and I have to say, Paul, I don't know if you're watching this, but that is
It shows.
that shows respect. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
And the speaker, let me just talk about the speaker, how it looks. You know,
It-
Paul,
It's a statement piece. Like,
and it may look like we're sucking up, but like we love the aesthetics.
Yeah.
It knocked it out of the park. I mean, it doesn't look like any generic speaker out there, and definitely for the price, it shouldn't.
it's about 30 grand.
Yeah.
28,000.
But we see a lot of speakers at the audio show that looks very similar in that price range.
Yeah.
This looks futuristic. It looks like it's the next gen. It looks. You know what, Paul? You know what PS Audio reminds me of with that speaker?
What?
Apple.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so unique. It's not so unique that it's crazy.
No.
It's not the BMW Nautilus.
It looks like a modern flagship-oriented
Yeah,
speaker.
with the right technology. But here's what you wanna know. How did it sound?
How did it sound?
Now, Paul, the way he set up, it made me kind of smile because he set it up so that the seats are perfectly in the sweet spot, but he didn't spread them so far apart. And I'm assuming that is because he wanted that full representation, that immediacy. And so it was a good compromise between sound staging, imaging, and intimacy. And that's what I got. I got good amount of sound staging, good amount of imaging, good amount of intimacy for a speaker that price range.
So when we were coming into the show, right? I was excited about the new blades, the Meta blades.
Right.
Because they kind of have a similar orientation in the sense where they have woofers on the sides.
Yeah.
Right? But obviously the blades are a bit cheaper, I think. Or
Yeah.
are they in the same price range?
They're about in
'Cause
the same price range.
regardless, the PS Audio sounded what I thought, like I wanted the Metas to sound like. Because when we went in for the Metas, I was like, I'm not excited. Those PS Audios were exactly because I came in with high expectations for the Meta,
Yeah.
and they came out and they basically gave me the sound I wanted.
Right.
And I was like very impressed by the speed of those drivers, the bass response, how it was able to fill out that big room, and then just like the imaging, and it was good.
Yeah, and that's the thing when an engineer and someone who designs speakers, who knows the speakers,
Comes in and sets it up.
Sets it up. Like I could understand that he knew the compromise of that room, and he did his best to make sure everything was balanced. Like not one frequency was dominating. It was good amount of bass, good amount of mids, good amount of high frequency. Everything was well balanced, and everything was good. And it gave me a good representation of what that speaker should sound
I think
like.
overall in the show,
However,
yes.
I don't think that it has reached its full potential in that room. I do want to say this because hearing that speaker in that room, I can see it sounding much better than it is in other spaces.
I mean,
The proper set
even
of
with
spaces.
compared to other rooms in the show, that room in particular was one of those rooms where I was like, wow, like you get
It
that
was
wow
one of
moment.
those rooms where it draws you in.
Yes.
You know, there's one of those few rooms, like you're walking down the show, and then you hear it from the, you know,
From the outside or the hallway.
You go like, oh, what is that? Right?
Yeah, instead of
one
like
of
kind
those
of
rooms.
smelling it in, you're hearing it in, you're like, your ears just go in.
So one of those rooms makes you smile. We had a good time. One of those rooms I sat down for, you know, a good amount of time and actually listened to the music they were playing. And they weren't playing any crazy classical.
No.
They're playing real life music.
It was music that was actually like showing the full range.
Yeah, but it's real life music that people play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not some audiophile weird music. Because I go, yeah, elevator music, which is always in my head. But you know, I go to some of these rooms and they're playing music on a really low volume because I don't know why.
And there's like no dynamics.
No dynamics, and there's like classical strings, and I'm like, okay, well.
You're trying to pick up little nuances in a very like. Here's it. The hallway was louder than the room.
Yeah.
How about that?
I love those, you know, rooms because they have a really good system going, but they just don't have the music type like that you would actually play. Even classical, like I'm a classical dude. Like I've grown up on classical music because of my grandfather, and if I don't know what the hell they're playing, there's something wrong there.
Okay.
I can tell it's classical, but I don't know what it is. So that's pretty much it. So absolutely love that room. I think it's a beast of a speaker. Definitely, you know, demo it if you can. And I'm just glad that Paul himself set those speakers up in that room. That's pretty much it.
Exciting.
Peace. Okay, very quickly, I do want to say that we haven't said too much on the sound impressions because we really didn't have a long time to listen to the speaker itself, and I kind of feel like it's unfair to give an entire sound description based on what we heard in a showroom. And more details on what is actually wrong with showrooms to come later on this channel, but showrooms are not really exactly the right representation of the speakers, and especially for a speaker like the FR30, we just didn't feel comfortable giving a definite sound impression because I feel like those speakers can do so much more in a different environment. Even though I heard the speakers with the BHK monoblocks that I'm very familiar with, they had their own PS Audio components, which I think was a perfect combination with the FR30 speakers. So anyhow, overall, I would say the PS Audio room was like the top 3, if not the best room at the Audiofest so far. Peace.